In this video, we're going to take a look at creating individual loops from a raw data file that contains a number of different loops. If we look at the drawing view here, we can kind of see conceptually that there are a number of loops involved in here. It looks like there's about 5 or 6 that we use to search for and document existing monuments. And I'm going to take a look at the traverse that we imported. And if we take a look at number 3 here at the top, and then come down to 17 and 18, we can see that 17 ties back into 6, and 18 is the closing angle we took to point 4, and then we occupy point 14 and start another loop. So 3 down to 18 is a loop all by itself. Here's how we create individual loops with using Traverse PC. I'm going to select these points, I'm going to right click and say Add Selected Points to Traverse. And I'm simply going to call this Loop 1. Okay? We're going to pick a format that makes sense. Control D, 2D, PLSS is just fine. And settings for those. And then we're going to tell Traverse PC to set the tag on the new traverse and copy any raw data, because we want the raw data to be part of that. Then let's go ahead and append that to the traverses. If we open up the traverses now, we see we have a Loop 1 right here. Let's do the same thing for the next loop. Let's come down just past 18 to point 14, and I'm just going to use the down arrow holding down the shift key, and it looks like we come down to point 43 and then we start over again at point 5. So this is our second loop. Again, let's highlight those points, right click, Add Selected Points to Traverse. All the settings are the same, and we told Traverse PC to increment the loop number or the traverse number. So instead of loop 1, it's loop 2. Let's append that. Let's come back down to point 5, 43, and then 5. And we can easily work our way down through the rest of the loops in here. Here I'm down to 72. Append that one. Start point 3. I'm kind of using the equal signs on the right and the point numbers to identify when I've reached the end of a loop. So here's 151. And each time it goes back to the first selected point, and I just simply have to then run down to where I stopped. Let's highlight 102. Down to 147. And then 93. This may be our last loop here. We'll find out in just a moment. Looks like that takes us all the way to the end. Let's go ahead and right click that. So we very, very quickly created these 6 loops. And I'm going to untag our original traverse. And I'm simply going to go into each one of these and say Traverse Settings. Let's make these control points red. Choose OK. I can see that here's my red traverse. And let's just choose a simple color for this. I'm going to pin these traverses now so I can just keep those open. Let's choose a blue for this one and OK it. Go to loop 3. I'm just going to do something very simple, like change the colors on these real quickly. And that'll be enough to kind of help us identify what's what here. Traverse Settings. Let's pick a green next. There's a green up here. Loop 5. Doesn't take me long to get through these here real quick. I'm just using colors to separate them out. We'll leave loop 6 black then. And you can see that I've got 6 different loops now, and I'm going to delineate the loop in the traverse, or in the drawing. And as I select each traverse now, I get to see where that loop is. So in addition to having colors, I can also delineate those. And if I was the person who actually did the field work, it'd be very easy for me to identify that, yeah, those are kind of the loops I put together, so I had everything included in this control network.